In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to use a motion guide. Not emotion guide, but a motion guide. Now, this is associated with tweening an object, or moving it around the stage. Now, when we've tweened before, we've gave it a start point and an end point. So we've maybe created an object here, turned it into a symbol, and then we've determined how long we want the timeline to be, and then we insert a keyframe at the end, and then we click on that end frame, and then we replace the object where we want it to end. So at frame 1, if we started here, and then on frame 30 we end here and add a motion tween in between, it'll just go, okay, what's the shortest distance between these 2 points? Like so. So in order to turn, what we could do is we kept creating keyframes. So if we wanted it to go in a circle, we'd have to go, okay, start point, keyframe here, motion in between, and then another keyframe down here, motion in between, another keyframe over here, motion in between. So you'd have to keep creating keyframes in order to have it turn. Well, this is a nice shortcut, so you don't need to do that with the motion guide. So I wanted to show you the whole stage here. So what we're going to do first is on our first layer here, frame 1, we are going to create a simple object, just a circle with an outline. So I just picked my oval tool, drag, there it is. Alright. The next step is to create it into a symbol. So F8, or up here, I have not selected the symbol yet. So first of all, grab our selection tool. Alright, now that we've selected the symbol, now we can hit F8 and call this test. Make sure to turn it into a movie clip and then hit OK. Alright, now it's a symbol. And now at the end here, I think 30 frames is long enough. I'm going to insert a keyframe there. Right click, insert keyframe. And I'm going to create a motion tween in between here. Well, first I need to replace the object. So, no, I can still do it. So, yes, anywhere in between, let's do our normal thing, create a motion tween. But now we've been given some other options once we select that. If you look at your properties, we're going to orient to path, sync, and snap. Alright, now, and it is just what it sounds like. Snap to and sync, it's going to orient to the path that we're about to insert. So if we right click over layer, insert layer, and now grab our pencil tool, and we're going to create our path, and we're going to select the smooth option for our pencil. We don't want it to create straight lines, we want smooth curves. So make sure smooth is selected, and black is fine. And I'm going to simply start here and start drawing some crazy paths. And then back up here. Release. Now don't pay any attention to the fact that it happened to keep the same stippling effect, and it's not a solid line. It really, just like masking, it doesn't matter what type of pencil we used for this, because it's not going to show when we test the movie. It's simply so you can see the path that you're drawing. Now, if we wanted to create a line that showed the path that was going to draw, we could do that on a separate layer, but we're not in this case. So now, see, I made a mistake already. Instead of inserting a motion guide, I inserted another layer. So let me delete this. and actually I'm going to just undo. Okay, now we're back to where we were. So I accidentally inserted a layer when I should have inserted or added here a motion guide. Okay, now that we've added a motion guide, make sure our pencil's selected and our smooth pencil mode is selected, and I'm simply going to start drawing our crazy lines again. Ooh. And then end up here, like so. Now, like I said, that's not going to show. Now we know where our object is going to end. That's the reason we didn't pick the end point location yet, because we hadn't yet drawn the path. So in this case, now we've drawn the path, so we want the object to end here. So I'm going to make sure that layer 1 is then selected, and our final frame, grab the selection tool and move it down here. Now, when we start from the beginning and hit enter, check it out. It followed the path that we created, because remember, we had the sync to properties, orient to path, sync, and snap. And we chose a smooth path when we created it with the pencil. Now if we go to Control, Test Movie, we will see that the path is now going to disappear. It'll still follow the path, but the path is not visible. So can you imagine how many keyframes we would have to create and add little motion tweens in between in order to get that many curves? Look at that, man, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wow! So that would just take forever if we just used keyframes and then inserted motion tweens in between. So I think you'll find this very useful as a tool, the guide layer. So remember, if you right click, you can add motion guide. In this case, we've already added the motion guide, so it's grayed out. And like I said, it doesn't matter what tool is used to create the path as far as the pattern, because it's not going to show, just like the mask that we've used for objects. So have a go at it.